Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Fast Track to SC call. It is the 13th of August in parts of the world, but where Michelle is, our guest speaker, she's up super early for us at 6 a.m. in Australia. She's on the Gold Coast, and it's the 14th of August. So very grateful, Michelle, for coming on so early for us. And I know that you were probably thinking, oh my gosh, what is this? Like, I'm super grateful to be standing in for Lauren. This is just my favorite thing, my favorite SC call of the week. I love it when I can make it myself. And I'm really excited to do this call with you tonight because Michelle is going to cover DMO and confidence, which we haven't had for a while. So I think it was definitely well needed. And of course, this is the Fast Track to SC call. So this is everybody who wants to get to Fast Track to SC. But of course, it's super beneficial for even if you already are at SC, because it's always good to refresh. And for me, it's all about reconnecting with the community once a week and holding yourself accountable like that. So Michelle is actually in Lee Campbell's team. I don't know if any of you remember, we had the amazing Lee Campbell do a mega rocking call for us not long ago. And I asked her, do you have anyone in your team that you'd like to put forward? And she was like, oh my God, Michelle. So here we are. Here's Michelle. And they're part of the mega line that is Adam Westwick, Laurie and Cameron, you know, all those NMDs that we have in the Gold Coast of Australia. She's part of that team. Her upline lives 5 minutes down the road, we just found out earlier, so that's pretty cool. But I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to let Michelle completely share her story. We'd love to hear just exactly about your journey, Michelle, and then your top tips with DMO and confidence, and we will save all the questions for the end. Okay.
Hey everybody, well good morning, good afternoon or good evening wherever you are in the world. Like Tasha said, I am actually on the Gold Coast in Australia, so I don't know, some people don't really know where that is. It's on the east coast, just a little bit south of Brisbane, and I've been with Juice Plus now for about 18 months. And I guess like before I got started in the business, life was just crazy for me. I worked as a travel agent actually for about 9 years, and I had a great career. I was really successful in that. And then I actually injured both of my arms, so I couldn't physically work and do the job, and it wasn't very convenient for people that worked with me. So it became very stressful, and I actually had the injuries from my job. So I decided to take a month off, and during that month I went to Hawaii, as you do, because it's amazing. And I actually healed my injuries. And when I came back, I realised that going back to work probably wasn't such a great idea. So I just sort of started looking around for different opportunities. And the thing is, it then actually Juice Plus came into my life. I had a really bad accident where I fractured my skull and I had bleeding on my brain. So I had to live with my mum for a long time. She became my carer. I wasn't able to go outside. I wasn't allowed to do anything on my own in case I had a seizure. She made me breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I basically just got up in the mornings and then I just slept all day. Got up and slept again. So for someone like me, I was quite active and I loved being around all of my friends, and it just wasn't happening for me. So I saw the products and thought, why not give it a go? What else could, come from it? Like, couldn't be anything bad, right? Fruits, veggies, and a capsule. So I started on them, and within 3 weeks, I'd had the best recovery in the entire time since having my accident. So the doctors couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was back to normal, or, just back to my regular self. So I was hooked. And then I said there was obviously a business side of it, and I didn't want to go back to work. So I jumped full in. And I guess for me, like, starting out with this has just been such a big change, and I have so much more confidence now. And I didn't really even know what network marketing was before I started. So to be able to come in and just really learn from some really incredible leaders and just do what they're doing, it really is that simple. Just plug in. It's one of those things that Lorian always would say to us, just stay close to the fire. So everybody that's here that's on training, you're all here because you want to learn and you want to grow your business, or you want to help other people, or you want to improve your life. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I've really, really stuck through since I started was we have a non-negotiable, like for us, Monday nights is our team training, and that's just, it happens every single week. No matter what you're doing, it's just in that diary. There's no dinner dates, there's no movies, there's no watching TV. It's just jumping on and really plugging into that. And obviously, like, the more, if you have time to watch more or just listen to things during the day, if you're not at work or have other commitments, it's really, really just hearing other people and what they do is just really inspiring. So for me, I definitely get onto team training every single week. We also have a live event too that I go to. So, and then another event. So I'm in quite a few different ones, but it's awesome because you start to learn from everybody else. And whilst we all sort of have the same system, we all know that we don't get paid to really post on Facebook. We get paid to talk to people. So we get paid to interact with people. And that is super, super important. And that is, if you're going to get anything done in the daytime or nighttime, whenever you work, it's reaching out to people. And I have a lot of people like always come to me and say, oh, you know, I've done my reach out. So, you know, I reached out to 2 people. Some people reach out to 20 people. And that's totally cool. It just depends on how fast you want your business to go. So if you're looking to do like your fast track to SC, the more people that you talk to, the more impact that you're going to have. So if you can reach out to, maybe if you had 2 to start with or 5, maybe just add an extra one onto there. And just to really look at, with those reach outs, are they just reach outs that you're sending a message to them and saying, hi, how you going? Like just a warm message, which is cool because you want to get the conversation started. These might be people that you've had, but how many messages are just chit chats? So if you really do like a little bit of an analysis and go, okay, well, you know, I reached out to 20 people and I'm so guilty of it. I reached out to 20 people and I have 5 people reply back and be like, hey babe, I'm having a great day. Like, you know, I'm doing this, or, you know, my day's not so great. I'm at work. And the conversation doesn't go anywhere. You're just having like a coffee catch up. You're just like, how's your day going? So I guess what I love to do is I love to just challenge myself and have, okay, maybe 10 just nice, hello, how you going? We haven't chatted for ages, and just starting that rapport building again. But then I want to go for 5 direct reach outs. So it might be a lot. Maybe you just want to go for 1, but really have a look in your list, however you're keeping track, how many direct reach outs are you actually doing every single day? Because they're the ones where you're going to get your yes, no's, or maybes. And it's just, you know, just a no for now. That's what we say, right? Just a no for now. So I'd really encourage you, like if you're getting through your day and you're like, oh yeah, no, I smashed it. You know, I reached out to 25 people. But did you reach out to them, or did you just say hi? Because that's pretty easy, and that won't really grow your business. And, you know, there's quite a few different ways. I did a bit of studying with Simon Chan. I don't know if you guys have got involved with Simon Chan, but he's crazy, but he's amazing and he gets results. And honestly, like after I've ever listened to like a podcast or something of his, you can jump onto Facebook and you can actually get his like MLM and like scripts and everything like that. You can actually do DMOs with him. He has like daily challenges as well. So with the direct reach outs, I love just sending someone first, hey, how's it going? they've responded back, you know, that's great, or no, I hate my life, it's horrible, and I don't like my job. They're the awesome ones, right? We love it when people like respond back stuff like that. And then, you know, just saying to them, look, I don't know if this is for you, but I've recently started this little online thing, and I couldn't help but think that it might be great for you. If I was to send you through something, would you like to take a look? And half the time people just turn around and go, yeah, what are you up to? Like they actually are that little bit interested. And that's when we have a preview group that we pop people in, and we also have links that we send to each other. So it's just a very mixture of what we do. But that's kind of what you want, right? You want them to be saying, yeah, I'll take a look, not hammering it down, going, come on, take a look at this, like it's amazing and I'm having a great time. So just say, look, I'm not sure if you've seen what I've been up to lately. Would you like to take a look if I sent you something? So with those, I always find people sort of come and go, who do you contact? So you have the chicken list of all those people that you're a little bit scared to reach out to. You're a little bit scared to go, oh, you know, do you want to come and take a look at what I'm doing? But I've now gone through this, and it's just been the perfect system. So it doesn't actually waste a lot of my time. When I first started, I was going to my Facebook and I was like, right, I'm going to go to people with the letter A. And then I started going through all the people with the letter A. And then I'd go through all the people letter B, C, and so on. But the thing is, Facebook doesn't actually show you all of your friends that are in your list. So what I did was, you can actually go into Facebook and you can print out your friends list. So if you have a couple of hundred, awesome. If you have a few thousand, great. It's a really, really great tool to be able to go through and cull people that are just not your people, right? So when I first started the business, anybody and everybody that was interested in the product or the business, I was like, oh my God, yes, quick, come over here. Like, let's talk, let's do this. And what I found was, they're not the people that you really want. You want to find your people that are your tribe. I always say, you want to have people on your team that you'd love to go to dinner with, that you'd love to, you know, maybe have catch up and have a drink, or you want to go and hang out with. They're your people, and they're the people that will also inspire you and you'll inspire them. It's really difficult to have people that are just not on the same level, and you'll always be like pulling them along and trying to, you know, keep them going, and that's not what our job is, right? It's just like we're here to help each other out. So yeah, going through that friends list is amazing. I printed it out, and obviously it's probably going to take me the rest of the year to actually go through that. I have about 2,500 people, I think, friends list, and I went a little bit crazy. I added a lot of people in there, which now they're just clogging up my feed. I don't know if you've seen on your Facebook, sometimes when you do have a look through there, there's a lot of people that you're just like, who are you? So all I do is start going through that list, and I just send them a message and be like, hey, I'll have a look at their profile as well, and I just see it and go, okay, are these the people that I really would love to help? Like, can I help them? Or, you know, maybe be a part of the business side of things. And I start a conversation. I have a look on their Facebook and I start that conversation and be like, hey, look, I just noticed we've been friends on here for, you know, a really long time. Some people, and I go, and we've never actually chatted. And you just popped up on my Facebook, and I've seen that, you know, you've got a couple of kids and you've just been at the movies. Like, how's your day going? So it is just a really warm reach out. And sometimes when you do open up their profile, you look at their feed and they're just like, I say half-sucked dudes. I don't know. Like, just people that are really negative and, all their posts are just rubbish and you wouldn't like to be following them basically. So unfriend them, get rid of them, and have a look at a message. If you've been chatting to people, if you've got messages in there that are just not serving you and not inspiring you or not going somewhere that you can help, just unfriend them. I don't mind. It's no loss to them. There's plenty of people that they can talk to and go like that with. So that friends list has just been a lifesaver for me because I get up in the morning, I do my gratitude, I go to the gym, I do all of that. And then when I come back, I just get stuck into it. So I just pull out, I've got like this big printout and I just go through and I just tick off these people. I just tick them off and go, all right, I've sent out the warm message. And to be honest, during that, when I have a look at them, there's plenty in there that I go, I've talked to these people. They may even be my friends. I've talked to them so many times, but I've never actually asked them. I've never actually invited them to take a look. And I've never actually just, thrown it in there and been like, how are you? It's always just been the little coffee catch up chatting. So with those ones, I just throw it straight out there and just be like, do you want to take a look? It's okay if you don't. Like, it's totally fine. We can still be friends or not. Like, I might delete you, but it's okay, right? And they're the people like that would generally come back and just be like, yeah, I have seen what you've been up to lately. Well, for the last 18 months. Yeah, I've been watching you. What is it that you do? So, like, during that time, guys, I've probably had a few people that have reached out to me, like come to me and gone, look, we see what you do. You're traveling around a lot. If you don't know, which you probably don't, that I actually bought a camper van. So I do a lot of traveling. And a lot of my posts are about, traveling around and being able to work from wherever, because that's what we all want to do, right? We want to have this time to be able to do it. So I do get people going, do you live in your van? And I'm like, no, I don't. Sometimes I do for a couple of weeks, but I don't actually live in it. I do have a house, as you can see. So with that, you just need to ask them, and don't be shy about asking them, because they might be just waiting for you to ask. They might not be those people that want to say, hey, what are you doing? When you see people posting about stuff, do you always message them and say, hey, what's that toothpaste that you've been, posting about? Or what are those wrap things? What are those things? Like, you don't just reach out to them all the time. You start following them and watching them, and then you sort of wait until there's a little invitation maybe, but just go for it. And you kind of, I don't know, if you don't and then you see that they join up with somebody else, it's kind of like, oh, what? Why didn't I just ask them the question? Why didn't I just reach out to them? I actually just had a friend who, she started chatting to me and going, hey, like, I've seen that you're part of this thing, right? Jesus, yeah. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, cool, babe. Like, and I got all excited because, she's amazing. She's a dancer and she's overseas and, she's a really beautiful girl. And she's like, yeah, so one of my friends asked me, and I just wanted to come and ask you about it because you've been doing it. And, like, obviously I know you, and I was like, I was gutted. I went, oh my gosh, I could have asked her, but I didn't. And that's one thing. She's joined the business and she's actually doing really, really well. Not with me, but we still like help each other out and cheer each other on. So I definitely say, whoever you've just got on that list, just ask them. Like, just make it your thing today. Just pick that one person that you've been thinking about that you go, I would love to have that person on my team. Like, we all have them. I have about half a dozen of friends and people that I've just met online that I just go, I want to work with her or him. Like, they're awesome. You have people on your social media that you follow. Why do you follow them? Like, what's the reason when you see these people pop up on your screen? Do they inspire you? Do they motivate you? Do they give you something that you're just like, wow, I wish I could be a little bit more like them? So reach out to them. Imagine working alongside these people that you just love instead of chasing around all the people and trying to, get them to get into action and get them to do, their demo. So that would be my first thing, is just make sure you ask people, because yes, no, or maybe, it's way better than not asking. And to be honest, like, sometimes people really are suffering and they just don't know what this is. So that's another reason to, just get talking to people, get curious about what they're all up to, and really find out. Like, a lot of people are in a lot of pain. They don't like their job, and their health is suffering as well. So I just always want to know a little bit more about people. And I think when you first start out, you're only just trying to find your feet as well. So it can be a little bit daunting if people ask you questions and you don't know what to say. But just be honest and just say, oh, I'm not really sure, but I'll find out for you. Like, it's so simple. And you don't want to be the person that knows everything, because then they're going to look at you and go, oh, they're amazing. They know so much about this. I could never do that. Sometimes it can come across, they know too much. I don't know anything and I wouldn't be able to do that. So you really just want to come back to, if you don't know things, just be like authentic about it and say, yeah, no, I just don't know. I'll find out for you. So that's one thing that is a little bit less of a time waster, to be able to just have that friends list, and then you can go back to it and then you can just start culling those people. Just delete, delete, delete. I'm sure you probably all know how Facebook works. Obviously, the people that you're having interactions with is where your posts are actually going to. So another thing we did do with Simon Chan was we created lists in Facebook. Lists are a really good way to reach more people. And if you go into your Facebook, you can actually create a list. You can name it whatever you like. So for me, I have my Juice Plus people, and then I unfollow them all so that they don't show up on my news feed. And then I will create a list, and it'll be people that are interested in the products. And then if I've spoken to them, I put them into that list. And what that does is, if there's 100 people that I've added into this Juice Plus interest, taking an interest, when I go to do a post that is specifically like, I might be saying, I've got some complete powders to give away, or when it's something that's kind of really targeted at, I want to get a good response back, I will go and I will post it, and I will post it to that list. So I know that pretty much everybody in that list is going to get that post that I put on there. So that's just a little tip. The other people that I reach out to as well, if you're struggling to find where to go, is if you go to your memories that pop up on Facebook. So in your memories, when you click on that, if you scroll down to the bottom, so have a little look at everything amazing that you've done since last year. But then when you scroll, and there's some cool posts there, right? You can see what you used to do if you've been in the business for a year. And I go, oh my gosh, what was I thinking back then? But we're all learning. So when you go down to the bottom of your memories, there's actually, it says your friendship anniversary. And it'll say, if you've been with, made them a year ago or however many years ago. And there's usually a couple of people in there that you probably haven't talked to either. So just click on them and send them a message. Just be like, it's our friendship anniversary. You've started that conversation. It's the warm conversation that you'll then lead to your having that direct approach with them. So, and birthdays are the best. birthday engagement is so good because you can post on their wall, right? You can just see the birthdays. Don't post in the little bit that says, you know, just in the timeline. Like, actually go to their page and write on there, you know, happy birthday, little cakes and all that sort of stuff, and make it the big colourful thing. Or even if you have a picture, like a picture is awesome to put in there, like a photo, and just say, hope you're having an amazing day. So that's going to start interacting with everybody. They're going to start seeing your posts as well because you've actually started initiating that and getting them interacting on there. Yeah. So, and follow-ups. Follow-ups are where all the goodness is in this business. So there's no point in doing all this work and then just leaving the messages there, right? So if you're talking to more people, you need to be responding back to more people. I have a tracker, which is not there, where I put all the people's names down that I'm talking to. Anybody that's gone into a group or had a look at the link, I've highlighted them. I've also got another book now where I've actually started just recording down people that I have gotten on a call with, because after a little while you kind of do forget, who did I get on a call with? And then they just didn't actually take part. Like, they said yes, and then I kind of messaged them for a few, you know, more days after, and then they just go MIA, right? You're like, where did these people go? I've had them on a call, I've done all this. So I actually just popped down a list of all the people that I've had on a call with me, and also the ones that I've had on a call with Lee, my upline. So just recording those people so you can always go back to them and just be like, hey, a couple of months ago you were really, really keen to jump onto the program and you know, get some good results. What's going on? And you kind of just refreshing that back, and it's not awkward. It's not, you know, you just coming out to hassle them or anything. You're actually taking a genuine interest because a few months ago they did want to, you know, have a health improvement. They did want to start looking at different ways that they could actually improve their life. So for me, I definitely go through that and just be like, hey, you can message them and say anything from, I'm really so sorry that I haven't spoken to you in a little while. I've just been so busy, you know, building this thing with all my people, and I totally just, I haven't forgotten you, but I just wanted to reach out and see how you're going. Like, what's going on? Have you lost that weight? Have you lost that 5 kilos? Have you, you know, just scroll back up and have a look at that, the conversation that you have. And, you know, sometimes I just get people that say, look, I'm really sorry I didn't get back to you. I'm ready now. You know, I'm ready. You know, and they've realized that it's been a couple of months since they've spoken to you and nothing's changed. And nothing's going to change for them because they just keep doing the same thing. So if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got. I love that. So if you're totally happy with where you are and what you're doing every single day, awesome. Keep doing it. But if you're not, you know, you're just banging your head against a brick wall. Like, actually get into action. Just start doing it. A great little thing that I learned as well was it's so easy for us to get stuck in the scroll hole. So we get on there and we just go, oh yeah, I'll just check it out. Let's just see what people are up to. And you start scrolling, and then before you know, 20 minutes has gone past. You've seen a couple of funny little memes. It's awesome. Seen a few baby pictures. Great. But you've done nothing, right? That 20 minutes, if you're in a workplace, 20 minutes is really valuable. 20 minutes can get your business up and like on fire, right? So that 20 minutes that you just kind of, I'm just looking, it doesn't do anything. So ban yourself from scrolling. Don't scroll until you've done what you need to do. So first in, you just get in and you go, right. So I actually put the timer on my phone now, and I'm like, 20 minutes, I'm just going to reach out to as many people as I can, because that's what I need to do. I need to start conversations. So 20 minutes, boom. People are messaging me. It's going bing, bing, you know, all of that sort of stuff. No, it's not my time to be talking back and chit-chatting with you and starting that conversation. Even people that you just send your new messages out to, they might respond back. Just close it. Just shut it down. Don't read it, just shut it down. You want to get the most you can get. And in that 20 minutes, if you're really, really focused, you will get so much done, like so much. Whereas if you just kind of scrolling through, I'll pick that person, I'll talk to them, and I'll go to that and I'll do that, it will literally take you an hour. And then your hour's gone and you're like, oh, this took forever. But it didn't really. It just felt like forever because you didn't really do anything. You just were scrolling through Facebook and you didn't really find out much about anybody because you don't. So definitely just have your timer on. Give yourself 20 minutes. And to be honest, like with mine now, it will take me a good hour to respond back to people. So I have a lot of messages to get back to people, and that's just how it is now. So I know that during my day, I need to block out a good hour. I just know that that's how much it is. Not everybody has a block of hour to be able to do it, and that's totally fine. Get up earlier, like me. No, but you can just go through and just block out small bits of time where you can get back to those people. So having those time frames, you do 20 minutes of reach out, you can do 20 minutes of follow-ups. And we also do it's called the like, kiss or comment on people's posts. So those people that you like to follow and you like to watch and you want them as part of being with you, give yourself 15-20 minutes and just go to their page and comment on a photo. Or liking is great, but if you're doing comments on there and comments and fun little emojis, it boosts it up so that you will then have interaction with that person. They're going to see your posts when they're coming up on Facebook. So comments and little kisses and all that sort of stuff, that's going to get the most viewing for them to come on to see what you're up to. And that's what you really want. You want more interaction that are going to be happening on your pages as well. And I think, guys, one of the biggest things for me was when I first started in the business, I wasn't really sure what the business was, as I mentioned before. I just knew you had to talk to people, and I really sucked at it at first. I really didn't know. I spewed Juice Plus all over people just because I didn't know what to say. They'd be like, what do you do? And I was like, work online. I'm like, oh yeah, what do you do? And I'm like, Juice Plus. Oops. And you just know straight away. You're like, oh, didn't mean to say that. So I think one of the biggest ones that you can do is just really go to work on your story. So it's not that you do Juice Plus, it's what it's done for you. And just really come back to that. If somebody's asking what you do, that's what you do. You're helping other people do that. So really nail your story, nail why you're here. And it comes across with confidence then, because you're actually telling your story And if you don't have a story, like grab onto somebody else's that inspired you and why you wanted to start in this. So if you're only pretty new to it and you don't think it's powerful, I just give you a challenge, like record it. We do a thing with our team and we do a little recording. You know, the little button on there that you hold, 2 minutes. Do your product or your business story and send it through. The more you practice that, the better and just the easier it will become to be able to talk to anybody. And it doesn't even feel awkward then because you've just said it so many times. And what's great, if you do the recording, send it to your team, get them to listen to it and give you like your feedback, because that's really what you want to hear. You want to know, you know, did that sound right, or did like what was that? But nobody can argue with your story. So your story is exactly the truth. They can't turn around and go, oh, that didn't happen for you. They can't take that away from you. It's exactly what it is. And once you have that, that confidence will really come through in it. And I think you need to build belief in yourself and also in what we do. So, you know, when I started out, I didn't really know much about it. I didn't even have, when people were like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, I didn't even know what a pyramid scheme was. So I was like, when people were talking about it, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So, you know, there are people out there that are like that. They don't know what a pyramid scheme is. Now I do, and we're obviously not one. So, which is great. But people still have that misconception, right? So it's just shut down. Like, sorry, that I don't even know what you're talking about. And I honestly didn't know what they were talking about. So I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So have that confidence that what you're doing, like this is an amazing vehicle that we have. Like we can actually change our lives with this. And once you have that and really grasp onto you can help other people change their lives, then, you know, the sky is really the limit. Like build your belief and your confidence will come from there. So even if you're just starting and you're not really quite sure how to do it, there's so many, like Jim Rohn, just go and listen to a bit of his stuff, right? Or find people that you resonate with. Like I'm a Tony Robbins groupie. Like I'll just admit it. So, and I absolutely love him. Like love, love, love. It's changed so much of my beliefs, not only in myself, but in like doing this kind of business as well. So I went and I've done a few of his seminars, A Date with Destiny. I think you guys have it over in the States as well. And it is life-changing. It really, it basically rips your heart out and your head and tears it all to pieces. And then you just get to rebuild it back to something amazing. And if you want to get confident in what you're doing, you first have to just work on yourself. Like what things are holding you back. So if you think you're not good enough, you're not worthy, really write down what your biggest I'm not this, or I can't do this because, like, what are your BS excuses that you tell yourself, like why you know, why you've never been successful in something or why you haven't done something. Like really find what that is, because when you have that BS excuse, then you can go to work on it. And until then, if you're sort of just like, oh yeah, no, I will just gradually get better. I'll just keep going with it. Yeah, you will get a little bit better. But when you actually realize what the excuses are that you're making up and you cut them out, and it's, you know, it takes time to do it, but you just building that belief in yourself. And when you have that belief in yourself, your whole business just takes a massive big turn. And I think that's where, like for me, you want to create that, you know, inspiring, you want attract people that you want to have in your world. And then you want to have that belief in yourself, and everybody has it in there to do it, right? It's just really tapping in and going, wow, I did that. I succeeded at something. Like it's a big win. You've got to, and you've got to celebrate those wins, right? So maybe you spoke to somebody down the street and you didn't spew Juice Plus on them. That's a big win. That's really awesome. I give you a little challenge, go and practice on the people at the supermarket, or where you go to, when you're going shopping, or when you go to get your hair done or something like that, right? We're so good at recommending when we've gone somewhere and had a great service or brought a great product, but we have a great product. So recommend it, like put it out there, like share your story, put it on your Facebook, or if you're a person that talks to people, share the story. It's so powerful. You'll get, like, sometimes when I put things up on Facebook, I'm really surprised when there's people that will respond to it and go, I never knew that about you. I never knew that. I never ever knew that. So they're the people that I haven't had the conversation with yet. So there's a big long list to be able to do that. And I think just the biggest change that you can take through is just get out of that comfort zone. Whatever that one thing is that's scaring you to do in this business is the one thing that you need to be doing. So there's, sometimes there's a few, right? Get out of the comfort zone. For me, when I first started, I was like, oh, I don't really know how to share my story. I don't know what to do. And then I went to an event, which, we have here on the Gold Coast, and, Linda's there, Adam and Kira and Lauren and Lee, like all like, our amazing upline. And then there's about 30 or 40 people in this room. And then they just asked me to get up and say my story. And I was like, okay. And I got up there and I felt like I don't even know what I was saying, but I said my story. And then I sat back down and I just had this massive, big rush of like a bit of adrenaline or something that kicked in. And I was like, wow, that was kind of cool. That was, there was people in that room that were just listening to everything that I had to say. And then afterwards they come up and were like, oh, wow, like, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Or we just didn't know that even happened. Wow. So you just don't know who you're going to impact on somebody's life. So get out there and just talk to people more and share your story and share what it's done for you or what you're excited about. If you haven't got your story, there are thousands of stories in this business, like thousands. So you will find one that you can totally share. I know there's a lot of people here on the coast that I meet, and I mightn't even share my story. After a bit of a conversation, I might just share a little bit about somebody else that I know that has a similar condition or, have had amazing results. So I think it's just putting it out there. Get out of your comfort zone, because your confidence will just skyrocket from there. You'll be able to, just talk to anybody. You won't even care if they just say, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Who cares? No Juice Plus for you. No Juice Plus for you. That's it. You don't want everybody. Sometimes you might even turn people away, and that's okay, because this is your journey and where you're going, right? So I do have some people when I'm like, no Juice Plus for you. No, not today. And you're okay to be like that. You don't have to be grabbing onto everybody. You want the rock stars. You want the people that want this, right? How much do you want it? And go to work on that. Build that confidence. The comfort zone is nice to be in, but you just won't get any growth if you stay there. So find something that's there that really is really like a big one that is just putting you out of the comfort zone, and go do it. Because then afterwards you'll be like, oh, okay, oh yeah, no, I'm still a little bit scared. But then you'll do it again, and then you'll do it again, and you'll just keep doing it, just building that muscle, and you'll just keep growing and growing, and then you'll realize that that just wasn't even scary. But it's part of your story as well. It's how you're going to help your people to get through as well. It's what's going to help them grow. So in the beginning, we all just like have no real idea, and then you just keep growing and growing and growing. Stick around all the people that are, you know, doing really well. If you've got people that are part of your team, your uplines, sidelines, oh my God, I follow so many amazing people in this company. It's like crazy. Be inspired by them, you know, and then inspire other people. Yeah, I don't know if that's you got any questions?
Awesome. That was so great, Michelle. Thank you so much. I was tapping away. And actually,
I have thousands of questions.
Great.
So just finish what you're saying. I have like written down all these questions, highlighted and all that. So just let me, if it's okay to ask questions, I will go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this has been really, really wonderful because you've given a lot of insight as to things that you might you're a person that went from a different field that you've done for a long time, that you were an expert in, that you basically, your identity was surrounded, was basically like connected deeply in what you were doing. And suddenly you had to transition, or you chose to transition to something that was completely alien. So my question, the first thing that came to mind, because it's kind of like a query that I keep on asking for myself, and it has to do with, someone comes up to you and says, "What do you do?" Well, if you are, which you were, a travel agent, you say travel agent, and the story, oh, that's cool, blah blah blah. But then, so the question that I'm going to ask you has like several parts, but it has to do with one thing. And the thing is that, Tony Robbins talks about the most powerful thing in a human being is their sense of identity. That they will die to be true to their identity, even if that identity is detrimental to them, right? So my challenge, and I think that it might be a challenge to a lot of people, I'm an actor, and I have to fight so much to present my case to my family, present my case to everyone else, present my case that when I veer out of that, it is a challenge. And I love doing Juice Plus, love it. I think that to me, it fulfills me much more. But my question when I hear stories like yours is, how did you rebrand yourself? How did you expand your identity so that this was a natural progression in your life, rather than this awkward, I have to want, like the awkwardness that I feel sometimes, like, well, it's not what I've always wanted to do, but I don't want to feel like I'm settling for something else, which I'm not. But the grappling, the changing of the identity is the thing that it's almost like the monkey holding the banana inside the bottle. You know that story where we're in Africa, I think it's Africa. They set a trap where they have this glass jar and they put a banana in it, and the monkey comes, grabs the banana, then the people come and grab them. But the reason why is because the monkey won't let go of the banana. So it's stuck with so it's easy to catch. And so I feel that that's in me, that's what the challenge is, that I have not understood how to communicate what I actually do with Juice Plus and why I'm doing Juice Plus. I mean, I can tell you thousands of stories why, but nothing that continues the conversation rather than makes it off-putting.
Okay. So it's like when somebody says to you, "What do you do?" and you just sort of go,
Exactly. I kind of go like, I say, well, the most recent one is I fight for wealth justice and health justice. That's the extreme case. That's not what I usually say, but like, I'm into nutrition. I love educating people about nutrition. I love empowering people with their health and wealth. I dance around a lot,
Yeah.
mostly because I've heard a lot of people saying, well, don't talk about Juice Plus now. Well, don't do this. Well, don't do that. And then suddenly I'm like, well, I don't know what to say that will.
Yeah. But you almost nailed it right there, right? Like those little sentences that you say just then, that's it. Just own it and just be like, oh, look, I'm right into health and nutrition and I have an online business that I run.
End of story. And stop giving excuses.
And then they're like, oh, so if they're interested, they're like, oh, cool. What is it? And that's when it's.
So basically the difference is that you're not going after everyone. You're actually looking for your tribe, which is something that you mentioned later on in your conversation. So that's the shift, that whereas I'm just like, come here, fishy, 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 come here, fishy, fishy. And you're like kind of saying, no, go for whatever, go for the tarp or go for what you want for the salmon.
Yeah, it's like you're interviewing them, right? You have
Got
such
it.
a gift. You've got it. You're not out trying to find whoever and whatever. You've got the gift and you want to find out whether you want to get them in. Like, you want to know whether you want them as part of yours or not.
Got it. Because right now I just realized that the way I've been handling this or approaching it, it's almost as if I was getting the interview rather than me interviewing them. So that's why I was dancing around trying to say, well, what do you want to say?
Yeah.
Which is, okay, awesome. That helps so much. And then as far as like finding your tribe, how did you come about, like, what was it you did to kind of like get clarity as far as the people that you want? You suddenly started, I don't know, you looked through a magazine and kind of did a vision quest of like, who would you, I'm doing kind of like random things that come to mind, but what was there anything that you did that kind of like brought you to that clarity?
Yeah, look, I think like what we were saying before with, you kind of like, oh, they're interested, and you go, yeah, you want everybody, because, in the beginning, that's what you want. You want to get there. You want to have all these people on your team and you want it to take off and be amazing. But what you don't want is you don't want the people that aren't part of your tribe. So for me, I think my like aha moment was Lee, my upline. She was actually branded as the Independent Mamas, right? And I was being tagged and put in like these photos, and it was being put on Facebook, independent mama. I'm not an independent mama. Like, I do have a son and he's 19, right? So he's old and grown up. But for me, I didn't resonate with being an independent mama, because to me that meant stay-home mums or, mums with little kids at school, and that wasn't me. And I thought about it and I said to her, look, I haven't, I don't really resonate with what your branding is. Like, no offense, because I love independent mamas, but I just didn't feel that I could be posting things about being an independent mama when that wasn't me. And that's when I really started to look at me and go, wow, well, who am I? And who do I want to be a part of, right? Like, we all have groups of friends that we all, mix with. Sometimes you have groups that you're just like, well, I need a, couple of wines to be in that group and talk, that. Then you get around other people that you're just like, I can't wait to see them. I can't wait. They're really great people to be around. And then there's ones that you see ring on your phone and you're like, oh, I'm not ready for that. So that's exactly it. And that's why I say, like, when you're trying to find your tribe, find people that you want to go on a holiday with, because essentially this is what's going to happen, right? My team, even though they're like all over the world, you're going to meet up and you talk to them like every day, every week. You want to resonate with them. You want to be able to just bounce off each other. You know, I've got girls in my team as well that, you know, they'll say something and I'll be like, that's awesome. I love that. So everybody is helping each other. So yeah, don't be afraid to just be like, you're interviewing them. You're just finding out whether you should give them the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then one last thing. I heard from you, and I'm just repeating it just to make sure that I got the essence of what you said, but initially or fundamentally, the thing that will make or kind of hinder your journey here is your self-belief, your belief in what you're doing. So what I read, I mean, what I understood from what you said was you basically flooded you created this flood of library of like exposing yourself to people, listening to Tony Robbins, listening to God knows, you know, to the leaders that you admire. And with that, you started basically fusing it with yourself. And that's how you build your self-esteem in this field or your credibility for yourself. Because I think that the struggle is not so much with other people, the struggle is with yourself many times. Like, you know, trying to like, am I a fraud or am I not a fraud? That little battle within. So I understood that you basically just made sure that you were inputting a lot of like good role models every day so that you could catch on to that and fuel yourself from that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah. And now, awesome. Like I'd even say in the last, you know, maybe 6 months, you know, it's all personal growth. It's just growth. And even, you know, I'm still growing, but I'm pretty unshakable now where, you know, it takes a lot for somebody to really, you know, rattle me in my confidence because I know what I want and where I'm going and how I'm going to do it. And I'm surrounding myself with the people that do the same, right? So you don't go into the gym and then you pick the personal trainer that's overweight and, you know, doesn't get you going. You be around all those people that are there cheering you on, that are supporting you, and the people that you do resonate with, right? So we have so much training that you can get onto. Like, I'm sure you guys have, you know, like your head office training and this training. Like, there's so much that you can get around, and that's the biggest thing is if you just stay close to the fire.
Yes.
You'll always keep learning and learning and learning, and you'll just keep growing, and you will just get to that point where you're like, people ask you what you do, this is what I do, and this is why I do it. This is what I'm excited about, and this is what, you know, if you haven't gotten to where you want to get yet or going there, yeah, you'll own it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
When you say you print out your Facebook list of people, how do you do that? Do you just
yeah, good question. So off the top of my head, I'll just grab my phone and see if I can let's see, in Facebook. So it's in your settings, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, settings and privacy. And go down to settings again. And hopefully this is the same if you're on your laptop. And if you scroll almost down to the bottom, there's a little arrow and it says download your information. Can you see that?
Settings and privacy, and then settings.
Yep.
Download your information.
Yeah, and then you click on download your information.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure you have a good Wi-Fi connection. And then as you go down, it'll say everything. See how it's got posts, photos, comments, likes, and reaches. Just deselect all of them. Otherwise, it's going to print out everything that you've ever got.
Yeah.
And go down to friends and just click that one. Another good one is you can click on groups. I don't know if you guys have done a lot of stuff in groups, but groups are amazing if you want to get some interaction and some new people, new friends. I add a lot of people from groups, and groups that you're interested in, right? Don't go into a dog group if you don't know anything about dogs and you don't like dogs. So I'm obviously in a lot of travel groups and fitness groups, things like that. So find something that you connect with. Yeah, so you click the friends, and then down the bottom it says create file.
Yeah.
And then that will actually start to download. Mine took quite a bit of time and then it failed, so I had to go back in and get it again. And then it creates like a little file there, and that's what you can then open and you can print it out. Just send it to the printer. But it's
That's
great.
One more question.
Mm-hmm.
What was my other question? Oh, when you message people, you know, like, hey, I don't know if you know what I'm up to and all that, do you do a voice message or do you text it out?
I've only just started doing voice messages, but I usually just text that one. It's a big copy and paste. Try not to get blocked on Facebook, that one. But yeah, usually my voice messages are with people that I've probably had a bit more of a built a bit more of a rapport with, and then I just want them to hear, I guess, my voice so that they can genuinely feel like what I'm trying to talk about.
Right. Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else? I didn't see over in the chats here. Oh, well, good.
Awesome. Awesome. This was great. Really beneficial. With lots of education. I feel like my brain's popping. I've been sat here the whole time, like, messaging people too, because you just really made me realize, like, in so many different simple ways that you can connect with people, and just like branch out constantly. And I think for me, like, I'm so blessed that I'm so connected. I'm a natural connector. I make friends everywhere I go. I can't help it, especially living in London. I just walk past someone and say hi. I literally can't help it. But I think sometimes I just forget how easy it is to connect. And it's funny because I don't know if anyone, I mean, probably many of you on this call have started your own business in some other way, shape or form. I've just started a new business to do something else separately, and it's so rough. It's so hard that I can't begin to explain how amazing Juice Plus is as a company, that they set up everything for us. Like, right now I'm pretty much doing everything on my own, and I'm trying to create a business from scratch, and it's amazing. It's very, very rewarding, but it's made me appreciate this business so much because I have just seen the amount of support that we have. Like, I'm not on my own in that business. I have a couple of friends that are entrepreneurs and I have a business partner, but in this business, I'm sat on a call right now with people from Australia, Canada, America that have woken up at crazy o'clock in the morning to come and just share their, and like, Michelle's not getting paid for this. Like, no one's getting paid for this, but yet we're just here showing up and we're like, okay, let's connect. And I just think that's amazing. I just think that's so special. And I think that that could be something that maybe if you're struggling, you know, what to talk to people about, that could be the selling point. You know, there's people out there are hunting. They are hunting for a community. They are hunting for a place to belong, for a place to feel like they're at home. And that's obviously what the Australians have done so well, which is why I'm so keen on getting so many Aussies on our calls, because we want to see what it is like. What are they doing? Like, there isn't, honestly, there's no special sauce. It is like just finding out your tribe, which is exactly, I think, what Michelle's kind of really made clear to us today. So I am going to let Michelle go now because it's 7:10 a.m. in Australia, and I'm aware that you have a day to go on with. Yeah, breakfast time, exactly. But thank you so much. We're so grateful for this call. We'll get it on YouTube for you. Wonderful Naomi will do that. And yeah, thanks everybody. If you have any other questions, shoot them to me and I'll send them to Michelle. But I feel like she has educated us to know tomorrow if anybody else feels like that. Like, amazing call. So thank you
so much, Michelle.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. So good. Thank you.